Now, what do you call a week in which there are 7 phone launches? Has to be a term we've got to come up with. So think about it. I'm also going to throw it out to myself and the rest of the team. At the end of the show, between everything that you throw out at us and we come up with, we've got to give this week a name. 7 phone launches in 5 days. That I think has never ever happened before, not even in the pre-Diwali season. So what's really keeping things up? What are the kind of phones that are coming out? It's starting to become an incredible week. And remember, next week is as good. So let's get started. This week, Cell Guru, we've got the Redmi Note 6 Pro. We've got the Realme U1. Yes, one more Realme U1. This one adds one more addition into their portfolio. And we'll do a shootout of the two. Quick one because we've got too many stories. And then, of course, we've got this, the Infinix Note 5 Stylus. Now, this is a phone that comes in trying to take on the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. It has almost the same features as what it does with the Stylus. But does it really make sense? Is the Stylus still a gimmick? We'll find out on Cell Guru today.
Realme is closing this year with a selfie-centric phone. This is the Realme U1, which comes in with the all-new MediaTek Helio P70 chipset. Does this phone impress in the sub-15K segment? We find out. Xiaomi is back with the supremely popular Redmi Note series. This is the Redmi Note 6 Pro, which comes with a dual front and rear camera but with similar features as its predecessor. We find out if it makes us sit up and take notice. The Infinix Note 5 Stylus makes its entry at 15,999 rupees. But in a clutter of phones in this price segment, does the Infinix Note 5 Stylus manage to carve its own niche? We find out on the show today.
Now, as proof of what happened this week, just look at this. I'm calling this the newsreel of the week because it will go really fast.
This week has been battleground for smartphone companies with a bevy of big launches. So let's take you through them. There's a new flagship on the block. The Huawei Mate 20 Pro boasts of 3 cameras with Leica lenses at the back in a 4-point design. It comes with 4200 mAh battery with support for a 40-watt supercharge. There is also a head-turning reverse charging feature. The Mate 20 Pro has been priced like a flagship at 69,990 rupees, and we will do a complete review of this phone on Cell Guru next week. A powerful budget phone has been launched by Oppo's sub-brand Realme. This is the Realme U1, the first phone to come loaded with the powerful MediaTek Helio P70 processor globally. The phone comes with a 3500 mAh battery and the 3GB variant can be yours for 11,999 rupees. The phone is being touted as a selfie-centric phone with a 25-megapixel selfie camera and a 13 and 2 megapixel dual rear camera. We'll find out on the show today if the phone lives up to its claims. All you gamers, turn away from your screens and listen up. Asus Republic of Gamers has launched the ROG phone in India, which is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 chipset. It comes with Corning Gorilla Glass 6, it's splash-proof and boasts of a massive 4000 mAh battery. There are also some interesting accessories like the twin-view dock and game voice controller. The phone also claims to have a cooling system designed to avoid hot hands during sessions. It is priced at 69,999 rupees and it's officially the first gaming smartphone in India. Another phone from Honor in the 15,000 budget segment. Say hello to the Honor 8C, which comes with a powerful 4000 mAh battery, 13 and 2 megapixel AI dual camera, and a large screen with a notch display. It's priced at 11,999 rupees for the 4GB model. Infinix has launched the Note 5 Stylus, which is the first phone from the brand to come with a stylus in India. It comes with a 4000 mAh battery and it's priced at 15,999 rupees for the 4GB RAM and 64GB internal storage and a 16-megapixel AI camera on the front and back. Full review coming up on this show.
Let's start off. Remember, I have 4 big stories on the show, 3 new phones and 1 shootout of the new phone. So this is the Realme U1. Now this of course also features their brand new look, their new color scheme, which is a very interesting charcoal grey with a very bright yellow. This says U1 on it, Realme, and let's get it open and get started. So once again, of course, they've given you a cover, they've given you the documentation which literally no human being ever reads, and then we move on to the phone itself. So as you can see, first thing that you'll notice, of course, as soon as you take the phone out is, of course, that teardrop design. We call it the no-notch phone. Very small little space taken up on the screen, which psychologically, when you're using the phone, it never really registers that is that little teardrop thing out there. So great screen, nice big screen. Of course, Realme has become the expert now in making sure that the phone size in the hand is a very good hand feel. The next part is, of course, you flip it around, you see dual camera and a flash, a fingerprint scanner. But once again, Realme, with the fact that they now can do very good looking phones at very, very economical prices. Come back to the front, and there's where the real magic starts. This is what Realme says is the big USP of this phone, and that is inside that little teardrop, that little hole out there, is a 25 megapixel sensor. Therefore, your selfie and everything else you do with it, including video camera calls, now moves into a whole new level. So that then is the big USP according to Realme. But I'll tell you one more. This is the world's first phone with a MediaTek Helios P70 processor, an SoC from them. Now remember, Helios P60 has become the de facto standard for medium price phones where you want great performance, you want AI in your camera and AI to control most things that could go wrong with your phone. The P70 takes it to a whole new level, much better graphics, much better AI. So let's take a look at this. This is the Realme U1.
Realme won over the market not once, but every time they have come out with a budget banger. Launched early this year and 4 phones later, the company has made a niche for themselves in the Indian market. And now as the year comes to an end, they seem to be signing off with yet another head-turner from a new series. This is the Realme U1, a series that claims will have the camera and especially the front camera as its showstopper. Priced at a comfortable 11,999 rupees, is it good enough to take up competition from Xiaomi and Asus phones that are big in this price range as well? Let's take a look. The Realme notches things up a bit like a lot of premium phones nowadays. It comes with a small water drop notch which is less intrusive while watching videos. The design of the phone is average, and since it's all glass, it is very glossy and attracts a lot of smudges. The display is impressive though, with a 6.3-inch screen with a full HD Plus resolution. The Realme U1 comes in 2 variants. One 3GB RAM with 32GB of storage, which is priced at 11,999 rupees, and one 4GB RAM and 64GB storage variant, which is priced at 14,499 rupees. The storage of the phone is expandable up to 256GB, and while we got the 3GB RAM variant for review, it was fast and had no lag at all. This can also be credited to the chipset this phone comes with, which is the MediaTek Helio P70 processor. It is the first phone with this chipset, and it excelled at everyday tasks and even in battery performance.
The much powerful AI processor on Helio P70 will make many new things possible on the mobile devices with Helio P70. For example, with the powerful AI processor, we could combine the AI processor with the camera technology together to provide users a very good experience on camera.
Chipset aside, the star of this phone is actually its camera, and while its rear camera does a good job with a dual 13 and 2 megapixel lens, it is the front camera that stands apart in this segment of phones. Realme keeps you in the center and has packed in a large 25 megapixel lens with a Sony sensor on the front. So this phone is sure to keep selfie buffs happy. The selfies are clear in good light and have good depth. There is no portrait mode that we saw separately, but there is a beauty mode that does not make shots artificial. Combined with the power of the P70, the front camera really brings a lot to the table.
This price segment wasn't there in our portfolio, which was 11 to 14K. Secondly, we were not able to cater to specific selfie-centric customers, because we believe that today the photography is one of the most important part of the everyone's life. Everyone wants to have been presence on social. They want to express themselves. And with 25 megapixel camera with Sony IMX sensor 576, I think this is the best way at this particular price point to give them this product.
On the battery front, the Realme U1 has a 3500 mAh battery which lasts a full day but with less than average use. The Realme U1 still uses ColorOS 5.2, which is based on Android 8.1 Oreo, just like the Realme 2 Pro. We wish the interface sported a cleaner look, but there isn't much bloatware. The Cell Guru verdict. The Realme U1 was launched as the Selfie Pro, and it certainly seems to live up to that name, although the low light shots could do with slight improvement. With a powerful processor, the Helio P70, it gives a good performance output as well, making it an all-rounder. Realme has set the ball rolling for its selfie-centric U series, but priced very competitively at 11,999 rupees. It remains to be seen how this phone stands out and tall amongst the strong competition.
Let's move on now. Top story number 2 is the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Pretty much these two phones have come almost simultaneously. And the high end of the Realme U1 and the starter of this, the Redmi Note 6 Pro, are almost the same price. So I will do a shootout at the end of it. I'll take you through what we have now on the Redmi Note 6 Pro. So this phone, of course, once again, once you have it in your hand, you will immediately feel that it's got a good hand feel, but maybe not as good as the Realme U1. This one is a little bit wider, even though the screen is not that much larger. The second thing is, of course, that it doesn't look as premium. But, you know, why am I saying all these things? We'll do that in the shootout. Let me just talk about the phone right now. So, the back has a dual camera fingerprint scanner. The front has a dual camera. So, this becomes the first quad camera phone from Redmi. And this is the other part that I think is interesting. There are now companies like Samsung that are putting a quad camera just at the back. But the main feature that Redmi or Xiaomi has done in this phone is 2 at the front, 2 at the back. And if you really do want a quick comparison, I will show you that also as part of our review, because that's become the big question, that if you own the Redmi Note 5 Pro, should you be buying this? Predominantly, and you will see it in our review, predominantly it's just the quad camera. So you move from 3 cameras to 4. Let's see if there's any other difference.
You know a company has big shoes to fill when they have made, claimed and owned the mid-range under 15K segment with their last few phones. Meet the next in line from the supremely popular Redmi Note series. This is the Redmi Note 6 Pro, which comes at a similar price point as its predecessor, the Redmi Note 5 Pro. This one starts at 13,999 rupees for the 4GB RAM variant. But what are the big leaps that Xiaomi has made from the predecessor? And does this one live up to filling in those enormous shoes its series has created? Let's find out. The Redmi Note 6 Pro looks similar to the Redmi Note 5 Pro, but it has a larger notch display and a 6.26-inch Full HD Plus display. The display is quite clear and the brightness really stands out. This phone boasts of a 500 nit maximum brightness, which is comfortable to look at even under direct sunlight. The phone is a good fit in the hand. It doesn't feel too big, but it is slightly slippery in nature, so we would recommend strapping on a cover on this one, although it does come with Corning Gorilla Glass protection. It comes in different colors, including rose gold, blue and red. We got the black variant with 6GB RAM and 64GB of storage for review. While the Redmi Note 6 Pro doesn't quite turn heads with its design, it is its all-new camera that really takes the spotlight. It has what Xiaomi is calling quad camera, which of course is a dual camera on the rear and now in the front.
I think we all have evolved towards making camera the most important feature on our smartphone, and that's the feature where this particular device with the dual camera setup on the front and the back, which is why we're calling it a quad camera all-rounder, actually sits head and shoulders above any other device in this market.
The cameras, when tried in good light, performed well. The AI wizardry, the camera was good as well, and the camera has a 12 megapixel and 5 megapixel lens on the rear. Low light images were good and in fact much better than the Redmi Note 5 Pro. The front camera impresses with a 20 and 2 megapixel dual camera on the front. The depth in portrait mode of selfies could definitely be seen, but we wish that the edges were a bit more defined. That said, there were lots of light trails and studio lighting effects to play around with, giving a great selfie experience. We must add here that the video mode does not include shooting in 4K just yet. Xiaomi doesn't shake things up much with the chipset and battery. There's a Snapdragon 636 chipset, the phone runs well, and there is no lag that we felt while gaming or even browsing. The battery is a massive 4000 mAh with quick charge support, but unfortunately the fast charger does not come bundled with the phone. The phone comes with Android Oreo 8.1 topped with MIUI 10. This one needs some warming up too, and we wish that Xiaomi had got the sweet surprise Pi update with this launch of theirs. There's a fingerprint scanner at the back to unlock the phone, and it works as promised. Our verdict? Well, Xiaomi pulls out all the plugs with the Redmi Note 6 Pro on the imaging front. The front camera is good, the low light shot stood out. The phone is a great performer as a whole, and with a large battery, it's pretty reliable. Starting at 13,999 rupees and going up to 15,999 rupees for the 6GB RAM variant, it packs in quite a punch in this segment. For those who own the Redmi Note 5 Pro, it doesn't make for much of an upgrade, but for anyone else looking at a phone around this price range, this Pro is the way to go.
Time now for a shootout. This is the Realme U1 versus the Redmi Note 6 Pro. An important shootout. What we will do is we'll take the Realme and the Redmi both priced at the same, because the comparison must happen at least one which has parity, and that is going to be the price. Now, I'll tell you two things that obviously immediately stand out. In terms of the looks, the Realme is way ahead, and I'll tell you in terms of the processor capability also the Realme is way ahead. But there are other things. For instance, a dual camera in the front versus a 25 megapixel. What actually comes out better when you really want better pictures? Can the AI of the Realme U1 do better than the AI on this, the Redmi? This is a very interesting shootout, but remember, it's a very short, quick one.
Both have brand new phones, both are by brands that are segment leaders, especially in the under 15K segment. This is a quick shootout between the Realme U1 and Xiaomi's Redmi Note 6 Pro. One is from a new selfie-centric series and one promises to be an overall budget rocker. So which one really rises above? Well, we are putting the variants that have the same price point together. The Redmi Note 6 Pro starts at 13,999 rupees for the 4GB variant, and Realme U1's 4GB RAM variant, which is priced higher at 14,499 rupees. There's a very small difference in price here, but on specs front they do have some amount of differences. While the Realme U1 claims to be the selfie pro with a 25 megapixel camera, the Redmi Note 6 Pro has a dual camera in the front. The Redmi Note 6 Pro gives a better depth, but the images seem oversaturated compared to the Realme U1. The reverse is true when it comes to the rear camera of the two phones, and the Redmi Note 6 Pro seems to give shots with more detail. The Redmi Note 6 Pro has a slightly smaller screen but a better display when compared to the Realme U1. On the battery front, the Redmi Note 6 Pro is slightly ahead with 4000 mAh battery. In conclusion, the Redmi Note 6 Pro is the better performer, although the Realme U1 wins when it comes to the front camera. They make for compelling choices in the sub 15K segment, with the Redmi Note 6 Pro taking a slight lead over Oppo's sub-brand here.
Let's take a quick break right now on the Cell Guru Show. When we come back, lots more from this table. Radical innovation. Not an innovation that you haven't seen before, but the way the price point has been plunged down. Remember, Stylus is supposed to be basically your brain going through your hand into your fingers and actually converting creativity on a screen. At one time, people started saying, touch screen, finger, enough. Now we've all realized it is not enough, especially if you're trying to do things like just take a quick note, be creative and draw something, and many, many other ways, which is why on the Note 9 on Samsung, on all the new iPad Pros, on most of the Surface products from Microsoft, you now have a stylus, or at least a stylus option. It's become the standard, but it's a very expensive standard. Think about it. If you believe that a stylus is a good product to use on your device, what's your entry point? It's about 75 to 80,000 rupees. There's nothing else that you get. All the others that you get are just gimmicks. A plastic stylus and you have to download an app or two. You don't get any functionality out of that really. You don't get pressure points. It's not an active stylus. This one is a very interesting phone. This is the Infinix Note 5 stylus. Comes with a stylus, and this is an active stylus, 4,000 pressure points. Interesting what all you can do with it, and interesting how Infinix actually launched it off. Take a look, including our review.
Another budget rocker is here to overthrow the reign of budget kings. This week is turning out to be quite a bonanza of mobile phones, and we've got another one to shake things up a bit in the under 20K mid-range smartphone segment. This is the Infinix Note 5 stylus. It has been launched at an aggressive price point and is the first phone from the brand to have a stylus in India. So let's find out if this is a good budget buy and if the stylus is worth the hoopla. The Infinix Note 5 stylus features a 5.93-inch full-view FHD Plus display, which is bright and vivid even in daylight. It comes with a curved glass design on the front and has a full metal back body. We like the look of the phone, and the Bordeaux red color variant, which we have for review, will definitely appeal to millennials. There is also a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is a big plus. There is a fingerprint sensor at the back. The stylus, aptly called the X Pen, is the real star of this show. Use the press and eject function to bring the X Pen out. We won't deny that it looks quite like the game-changing S Pen from Samsung. You'll find that this is a nifty accessory for moms on the go, designers, cartoonists, planners, anyone and everyone. In fact, we witnessed designer Rocky S's penmanship on the phone come to life at the launch event. With the X Pen, you can create memos, grab screenshots, take notes in Hindi or English, and even solve those mind-boggling trigonometry equations. We also like the fact that the S Pen comes with 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity, giving us scope for tremendous detail. It comes with supercharging ability, so charging it for 20 seconds will give you 90 minutes of output. The phone comes with a mammoth 4000 mAh battery with fast charge capabilities, which gets a big thumbs up from us. The Infinix Note 5 Stylus is loaded with a MediaTek P23 octa-core processor and comes with 4GB RAM. Gaming and multitasking was lag-free. We have to admit that the camera in this phone is just above average. It comes with a 16-megapixel AI camera with a portrait and an AI beauty mode. The pictures were decent outdoors, but edge detection wasn't great in portraits. We found the beauty mode to be a bit too retouched and whitewashed. There is a 16-megapixel AI selfie shooter as well with bokeh mode. We really wish the selfies looked a bit more natural. Another big point in favor of the phone is that it is based on Android 8.1 Oreo and comes with the Android update guarantee for 2 years as part of the Android One program. The phone is priced at Rs 15,999 for 4GB RAM and 64GB internal storage, which is the only variant available. But before we give our verdict, let's find out from the company whom this phone with a stylus is meant for.
I think it's for you and me, probably, who are really on the go most of the time. We have to keep thinking and keep taking our own thought process, where we keep scribbling down. So I think works for me as well, maybe working for you as well. Students, the creators who are there and probably who like to doodle a lot.
The Cell Guru verdict. The X Pen in the Infinix Note 5 Stylus is the showstopper and offers similar features to the innovative S Pen from Samsung at around 1/4 the price. It has a good battery and great close-to-stock Android experience, which gives it an edge over others in the segment. So if you're a doodler or a multitasker on a budget, this phone may be the one for you.
Well, that then was the Cell Guru show for the week. But do remember, 7 launches happened this week, many next week. So we're really trying to fit it all in, which means if you miss out the next few weeks of Cell Guru, you're really going to regret it. See you soon.